Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to the chat. Yes, you already know my name is Ima. Welcome to Niger Watch. Welcome to Niger Watch. This is the chat. Guys, how are you doing? How is your day playing out? Yes, I know that the weekend is upon us, but come on, guys, come into the chat. Let's talk. Welcome to our family meeting. Yes, guys. You guys know that this is our family meeting. So come on. Girl, people know that we are here. Poke whoever you need to poke, call on whoever you need to call on. But it's about time we talk about something that is a norm in our society, something that is a norm here at home that people just, overlook. People don't pay so much attention to. Yes, guys, we have to talk about that. Hi, Mary Kimade. Good afternoon. How you doing? Come on, guys, say something. Talk to me in the comment section. In the comment section, I've posted the link. I know that you want to be here. I know you want to join the panelists. I know. So just click on the link in the comment section and you'll be right here. You'll be right here with me. Welcome to the chat, guys. Please endeavor to like the broadcast, share the broadcast, and invite someone onto the broadcast. And I hope that your notification has been turned on. I don't think you've turned on your notification. If you haven't, please do so right now. I will wait for you. Please take out a minute to turn on the notification bell on your screen. But guys, as you come in, just tap on the thumbs up. Yes, please. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Liking the broadcast as much as possible will help with visibility. Our efforts here, the broadcast will travel far. It will be viewed by lots of people. So it is important that you like the broadcast. Thank you. Welcome to the broadcast again. And also in the comment section, you have the dollar sign to the right, guys. Please use that medium to support us. Yes, support us by sending super chat or super sticker. Or you could do a direct transfer to our account details that will be posted in the course of the broadcast. But welcome once again, welcome once again to the chat. All right, so I'll be talking about, no, not I, we will be talking about this norm, right? Let's take the story. Okay, so this is from Ada Dioroma. Uh, so if you want to verify the story, just go right ahead. So this woman was telling me how she caught her sister and her husband engaging in the act, and she swore never to have anything to do with her sister again in this life. I asked her if she still lives with her husband, and she said yes. I asked her what her sister does, and she said her sister is a student, her younger sister, a student. I asked her why she easily forgave her husband but not her sister. She told me all a reason. I calmed down and I told her that she should know that her sister sleeping with her husband was all her husband's fault and not the sister. She was angry. Now, this right here is a thing that is I was going to say predominantly, a Nigerian thing, or maybe an African. I wouldn't want to because I don't know so much about the tribes or the cultures in other African countries. So I like to just stick to home. Yeah. So there are cases like this where you hear that, you know, a man was caught in the act with his sister, but then or his daughter or the help. The one that is most prevalent is organ house help, right? So the man is caught with the house help, and they will have to send the house help away, and that's it. Okay, we would understand in that case. But when it comes to family issue like this, the lady gets to take the blame. I don't see where I don't see where these men are being punished or told otherwise. And I don't know. And I don't know why that is so, because I mean, it is not fair. In some families, they would even make the man marry the woman. They would give both sisters to the man. Guys, come on now. You guys know what I'm talking about. I'm sure this must have happened in your family, relatives, or somebody you know, or somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. So please bring on the story. Let's talk about it, and let's do the needful. Our men need to become responsible. Our tradition, I think it's more about the tradition. I know some people were very emotional on Wednesday when we're talking about our tradition and our culture and tradition. This is not to castigate. This is not to pull down, talk down, or trash talk our tradition. But when something is wrong, it is wrong. Brother Nice, welcome to the broadcast. Good afternoon, sir. All right. Okay, so when something is wrong, it is
Yeah,
wrong. And we
good afternoon.
call
Are you
these
hearing
things
me?
out. Yes, Brother Nice, I can hear you. It's good to have you here.
Yeah, thanks. What is the this thing?
Okay,
The program, yeah.
okay, so this lady caught her husband and her sister in the act. And she proceeded to send the sister, and she was the one taking care of the sister. The sister was staying with them, and she was paying her sister's school fees, so she was taking care of her sister in every sense, right? And now this happened. She had to send the sister out of the house. She cut the sister off, wasn't paying her school fees anymore, and doing the stuff that she used to do for the sister. And now I've said this is a norm. When issues like this happen, the man who is as much as at fault, gets pardoned or goes scot free. But the other person, gets disconnected, like this sister. I mean, for a sister to bring you into her home and is taking care of you, paying your school fees, if she's paying your school fees, I dare to say she's taking care of your feeding, your welfare, clothes, everything, right? And you will cut her off, but you are still in this man's house. Now, I know a story of happened in a neighborhood actually, in my neighborhood actually. This woman came back from work, from the market, no, not work, from the market, and she caught her husband's brother pants down with her youngest son, that man on same gender. Well, he was a very young boy of less than 10 years old. And in that moment, she just picked up her phone and called. Of course, she raised the alarm. Neighbors were there and all that. Were about to beat the guy. She just called the husband, Thierry, and the husband said, "Chase everybody out of the house and don't call the police. When I come back, we will deal with this as family issue." Well, she's still married to the man. The brother is still staying in the house, as at the last I checked. Last I checked. So this just brought back so many memories, that we have issues like this, but the man gets to be pardoned. So if you check it, everything still boils down to the tradition. There are other stories of people out there who, like, you get to hear, "Oh, my sister is pregnant," and you get to find out that her husband is responsible for her sister's pregnancy. uh, that if it's a case where the younger sister is single, you hear families say things like, "He has to marry the both of you." No, I don't know what kind of culture, what kind of tradition should permit things like that. I don't know what kind of tradition should permit things like that. Innocent, how you doing, Innocent? It's good to have you on this broadcast. Special greetings to you, to my brother. Thank you for being here. Guys, I want to have your discussion. You think this part of our tradition should be kept? You want to say, "Ima, please off your mic. They should not change this tradition. Let's leave it at that." Or are we going to call a spade on this one? But nice. What's your reaction to this thing? And is this even new? Are you hearing this for the first time, or of something like this?
Yeah, I'm hearing this for the first time. But I know that things like this happen. It happens. But all those ones is very, all those this thing subject, they are very complicated anyway. If you listen to it, you don't even know where to start from, because many of them are speechless. It just make you speechless. You don't know what to say. So that's the reason why I told you the last time that tradition is a evil. You understand? A lot of these things, the only reply they will give you, the reason they will say is tradition. It's our tradition, you know. So they always hide evil under that tradition, you know. So most of all those things, most of it, if it happens, you know, the reason why is that is why I still told you that the last time, this tradition they always talk about is bias as well. When it happens to a man, they will not say it's tradition that they should deal with that man with that tradition. But it's not effective when it comes to the male gender. But if it's women, that will, you know, it's effective. You
I
know,
mean,
but
we know what would have happened if it was the man that came in to meet his wife and his brother. We know who would
okay,
have left the house that day. So,
that-
but and the man has the mind to still live in that house with the woman. Ah, man.
that's why I'm telling you, the tradition is evil, is bias. I see. I wanted to even the last time I even forgot. There is another one they even practice in our place as well. If a woman that is married, they said maybe they just accused, alleged, or maybe it's real. I don't know. They will just accuse the woman that the woman fornicates against the husband. You know what they will do? They will take the woman to a market square. They will strip her naked. They will take her to a market square to swear, and people will be dancing, chanting after her, and into the market square, no, there's a lot of things, you know, that women face. That is why I was telling you that the last time, you see this tradition that they are always talking about, they are just using it to oppress women. That's why I tell you that it's evil. It's not even, it's men that just fabricate that tradition to oppress women. That tradition, if you look at it very well, if that is the reason why anybody that who is not a Christian, that always hold on to tradition, they are living in darkness. I'm telling you, if you are truly if people really follow the word of God, that tradition is supposed to be abolished. People don't supposed to follow it because it's demonic. You know, they will take that woman to a
But
market
what's
square.
the attraction? But I will try not to even go spiritual on this, right? Let's talk about the physical. Let's deal with what we have on ground. What would
Yeah.
what would attract a man to his wife's sister? Is it, some will say, okay, probably the things she wears at home, they say men are moved by what they see, right? Probably the things she wears at home, or maybe the wrapper. But in this, I try to make sense of it too, because, before we get to that point where we just want to pull out all the blames, let's even try to cut the man some slack, right? And try to reason why that, as a man, what do you think would have prompted that?
Let me tell you, in the first place, you know, okay, you said let's just leave spirituality aside. Let's talk about physical now. Huh?
Yes.
In the first place, our body, mortal body, is very attractive to physical things. So if you want to avoid such thing, never allow any of your in-law stay in your house, even though it's a yes. The only thing you will just do, if you have any sister that is coming, it's better you take her to a hotel, or you rent a house or an apartment for them. Don't allow them to stay in your house where you have your children and your wife around. Don't allow it. Especially a man that does not have self-control. Don't allow it, because nature is very attractive. Especially, you don't see
But
when
Anaisa,
Bible.
what if you give birth to beautiful daughters? I mean, your wife's sister should be like blood to you.
There's like, listen, this thing that you are seeing, we cannot we cannot. There's no way we'll talk about this that we can take spirituality away from it, because human beings is a spirit. There are demonic spirits, that will come into that man to do that fornication.
So it can't be clear eyes, right?
It can't be clear eyes. Let me tell you, the man can just sit. Maybe when the girl will just come at the first time to the house, the man will be seeing the girl as his sister. Then when time goes on, after time, that spirit will just come into this man. That spirit of admire, that man will start admiring
Of
that
lost.
girl. Lost her. So that spirit will come into that man. That, especially men that doesn't have these things, self-control. It's very easy for them to fall into it. And maybe that girl now, she's a girl that have those kind of attractive nature, big ass, boobs, and all that, and she have a pretty face. Hey, my sister, the only thing that you will do to avoid that kind of thing, don't allow that girl to stay in that house. Rent an
So,
apartment for them.
so to save your marriage, right?
Yeah,
Don't,
yeah,
to help your husband to cut off that kind of temptation. When you get
yes,
married and you have a sister that is matured, I mean, you
yes.
can do away with friends. You can, of course, friends extended, but but nice. You know, there are some people, you're
No,
African, you're Nigerian. There are some people that when they get married, their sister moves, they'll move in with them, to sometimes, I mean, that's a younger sister, to help with cleaning, instead of saying don't bring them to the house. How about we begin to reorientate these men and how can we help men to not go that path?
there's nothing you can do about it, Sister Ima. This thing that I'm telling
Brother
you now,
Nice,
the only
really?
solution, the only solution I just give you, is just that don't allow that girl to stay in the same house with you. If you have a sister like that, just rent a house, then she can come. She can come around and do the cleaning, then she go back to where she lives. You can the woman can rent a house, the man can rent a house where she will live. Don't let her stay in the same house, especially when you know your husband. You know, there are some men that the woman will just know that this man is very easy. You understand? You understand what I mean?
Okay. Yes, it's Randy.
Yes. So if you don't know that your husband is kind of men that don't have self-control, that always lost after women, don't just allow that girl to come. Maybe if you have a husband that maybe is a Christian and you trust him that he has the fear of God, especially born again Christian, that one is possible. But if you have a man that
But,
is
but even
unbelief,
for but even for born again Christians, are they not moved by what they see? Or
yeah,
is this where or is this not where we say that men, when you see that attraction to your sisters, to your wife's sister, or anybody in the house with you, probably you should talk to your wife about it. Okay, I think this person needs to go. I mean, you don't think a man should be able to say that to his wife?
yes, that's what I'm saying. A Christian can do that. If the Christian now see that is not getting like is now getting attractive to the girl, he can go and meet his wife and tell his wife that as you know, the best thing we will do, I will go and rent a place for your sister. I will not allow her to stay anymore with us here. I would prefer to rent a place for her. You understand? So a Christian can do that because he has the fear of God. But imagine a man that is unbeliever. So that is what I'm telling you. Anything that is before, even God knows that this thing is difficult for a man to resist a woman. That is the reason why he even told the woman that you should cover up your body in the presence of men. That is why God always advises women to cover all their bodies.
But
You
that's
understand?
but
Because
that's
he
where
knows
we are
that their body is
outside
attractive.
now. But that's where we are outside. This is from Innocence. Innocence says, apart from spiritual things, it is discipline. Because I feel if a man can go after his wife's sister, then
No,
his
no,
daughters are not safe.
no discipline, No discipline. No discipline. Even your own children. Maybe you have a daughter that are not getting matured. There's some extent she will get
Yeah.
matured. You still need to rent her own house for her. You take her away
Brother
from the house and rent her
Nice.
own.
Brother
She will be staying.
Nice. No, brother
Yes.
Nice. Okay, that's your submission. I cannot say no. I cannot say no. I cannot say no to you. That's your
Okay.
submission.
Okay. Sister Ima, let me just ask you a question now. This thing I'm telling you for you to know that is logic. Do you know that there are some cases where you hear that a father slept with his daughter?
Oh yes, I was going to. That was even in the news last week. I was going to bring that, but I was going to.
So,
I decided to
so to
merge
avoid
that.
to avoid those things, that is why I'm giving you all these solutions. Is the best solution so far.
To know.
Because there are some.
Wow, wow.
I say maybe because you are seeing it from the female side of it, because you are a woman, you cannot see from the men's side. Because I'm a man, I know what I'm talking about.
Yes, and that's why I'm having this conversation with you, my gentlemen, and even the women. I want them to come on. How would you react if your husband, where are the women? Please come on, let's talk about this. How would you react if your husband tells you, please tell your sister to leave the house? I am getting attracted to her. There's this lust. How would you react to that? Me for one, I would take that information. While I follow up in prayer, of course, I make another arrangement. Of course, I will not fight it. So, women, what would you do? Welcome to the chat. I say, welcome to our family meeting. Don't be late. We will soon serve cola nut and palm wine. Even bushmates, you don't want to be late on this podcast. Come, let's them see the men that do these things and the women that endure these things. They are you and I. So come, let's talk about this. They are listening. They are sisters to people that are here, brothers to husbands that are here. So come, let's talk and educate. Share this broadcast. If you know there's anyone who is going through something like this right now, and you know them because there are, and you know them, share this broadcast. Let's do everything possible to make sure that they see this broadcast. The progressives, NG, thank you so very much for the donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Cheers to the weekend, cheers to the weekend, and thank you. Welcome to the broadcast once again, guys. Please do not forget to do the needful by liking the broadcast, sharing, inviting someone, turning on your notification bell, and also subscribing to our YouTube channel, guys. In the comment section, you have the dollar sign. Please support us. It costs a lot to run this broadcast. Please, thank you very much. Thank you very much. But Anais, this one is for you. The progressive says, but Anais, you know, trust yourself. That is why you are saying that. But I think it's absurd that they have to
Let,
leave the house, get an apartment. No, I
let me
think
give,
I don't know if
let
I
me
would
give
like
you
to have a doctor here to know if there is a medical condition to this too, so that we can look at it from all angle and see how best to deal with this kind of problem.
Okay, Sister Ima, let me just give you another instant. You know me, I'm a Christian and I'm a God-fearing person as well. You understand? Do you know that sometimes, if my girlfriend sister come around, sometimes I will sacrifice the time she will spend. Maybe she will spend with her. Maybe she want to come to see my girlfriend, her sister. Maybe she want to spend like 3 days or 4 days. I will sacrifice that time. I will stay outside. I will not come home.
So
Sometimes,
you'll be
sometimes
out of the house for as long as she's there.
as she stay, I will be out of the house. Even my girl, she will be angry. She will not like to accept it. But I will say no. I prefer to leave the house and have good. I just want you to have your private time with your sister.
That's a
But
very radical approach.
you said
That's a radical approach.
I'm telling you.
It's a very radical approach.
yes,
Good morning.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I've been
Do you know
listening.
that I've done it? I've done it for 1 year. 1 year.
But you can't keep running away from your house. I think so.
I
I've
know,
listened.
but I
I've
just want.
listened quietly, right? I just wanted to chip in a few things. I think that the topic is about a man sleeping with the wife's sister, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. See, let's just get this into perspective, okay? I know it's not good, but hold on. See, one thing we need to understand, I think maybe a lot of women do not get to understand men properly. And also men too, to some extent, do not get to understand women too. There is this gap in terms of getting to understand the genders, right? So, and that's why there's a conflict between male and female in the world or wherever you may live. So, but I want to just state something clear. Testosterone, right, is a sex hormone that plays an important role in the body. Uh, it regulates sex drive, bone mass, fat distribution, muscle mass, and strength, and the production of red blood cells and sperm. Okay? Now, in men, testosterone is averagely on 300 to 1,000 nanograms per deciliter. And in women, it is just 10 to 35 nanomoles per liter. So in comparison, you can see that in men, the hormone for testosterone that results to libido and sex drive, as well as the production of sperm, is quite higher than that of women. You're talking about a very large percentage wide, a 300 to 1,000. And then you can have it for some men having over 800 of testosterone hormones in them. Now, when you get to begin to hear from women saying, oh, why are men cheating, or why are men like it, that hormone alone is responsible. I want Brother Nice to correct me if I'm wrong. In a day, a man can be thinking of sex probably on an average of 1 to 3 or even 10 times. Brother Nice, please correct me if I'm wrong.
My brother, you are saying the right thing. Continue.
But for a woman, it's different, right? We're talking about a specific hormone that makes us men, resulting to the creation of muscles in the body and sex drive, other things. It's not that testosterone is not in women. It's there in women, but it is more in men. Now, for those women who tend to have a higher level of testosterone, you see their sex drive is off the mark for an average woman. Now, even if you compare that woman to an average man, it's still not the same. It's not the same. Now, in bringing it back to this, I wanted to just provide that overview. Bring it back to this context is, why would you put granite or gari or soup on the floor for rats to come and eat? You are putting it on the floor. No, hold on. You are thinking from the perspective of a woman now. Hold on, just calm down. You don't want rats in your house, but yet you litter your house with foodstuff. You are inviting that rat to come and eat. Definitely there will be rats. Now, in this context, I just gave you an overview of what testosterone do to men. A woman who critically wants her marriage intact, safe, under control, should not at any point in time try to entice the husband. I know Brother Nice was talking about religion or not. Forget about religion. Let's keep it out. Keep it out of that context. Why would you have your sister come to live in your house permanently? I know family do it, it's okay. Some people want to get their relatives to come into their house to stay. I don't like that idea. Nobody's coming to my house. If you're coming to my house, max 2 weeks, you are done, get out. What are you coming to my house to come and do? Then you bring in your sister who is young, still, even if she's probably, let's say she's 4 or 12, or then she would get to that point, because a woman's sexual market value is at the highest peak from 18 to 28. In some point, it might be 25. When she's very attractive to men, because she's young, her youth, her beauty, and everything, she's developing, and you have her in your house. It's tempting, let's be very realistic, regardless of what church mocks or orisha you are serving. It's a tempting affair. Yes, we could talk about self-control, we could talk about discipline, but it is still a tempting affair. In some cases, like what Brother Nice was saying, some men sleep with their children, that's a how will I put it, a dysfunction that could occur, because you could tend to hear some men who love feet. I live in Canada. You tend to hear it's some fetish. Some men love women's feet. Some men loves women's back. Some men loves women's hair. It has to be natural. It's a fetish. So that I could look at it and say, oh, that's some dysfunction. You should, at some point in time, as a parent, be able to protect your children and not be exploit that vulnerability is not okay. But the context of where there is no relationship and you have your sister-in-law living in your house, it's a tempting affair, and it takes a lot of guts, self-control, and discipline not to want to actualize this. Then again, I don't like to do exceptions anyway. I like to put things in a general perspective, because exceptions are usually 1 in 1,000 or 1 in 1,000,000. We tend to find ladies who would entice their brother-in-law. That was why I refer back to the analogy. Why would you have foodstuff littered around when you don't want the rats in your house? Also, when these ladies, let's say perhaps these ladies, most of the time they probably are in the house, their sister is their guardian, they are not being exposed to the general public, or not being allowed to have boyfriends, or not being allowed to bring male friends, or because they are under the custodian of their sister or whoever it may be, that control is there. And as they grow, 18 and that age, the sex hormone is also there. Their body is changing. Now, these ladies might like, oh, what is happening? Oh, I'm finding my brother-in-law attractive. Brother-in-law already too is already finding her attractive. You have the rat, you have the foodstuff. They are going to eat each other. So the best advice in this case, it's a terrible situation. It is sad. It's not something one wants to hear or one wants to know. Having your husband sleeping with your own sister, or in another case, your wife sleeping with your own brother. It happens. So what you tend to do, if you are someone who is well coordinated, family members, please stay in your respective houses. If you are visiting, I have a maximum amount of time you would stay. 2 weeks, 1 month, or 2 months, you are off. So it is usually good when a family member is coming, you are asking them, when are you leaving? So you know the context of time frame you have to offer them. So please and please, we need to take caution in this. Yeah, I know the Nigeria dynamic, yes, we want to provide support to our family, but it's a dangerous affair. It's a dangerous affair. I will give you another scenario. Even a married woman who probably travels or staying somewhere with another man, probably just in just a setting, a home on its own, and she's married, the man is married, right? And they're in the house. Oh, maybe they might be friends or they know each other, they're in the house. My brothers and sisters, it will only be a miracle if they are not shagging themselves. So let's be realistic about this. You don't want to do that and say, oh, my husband is God-fearing. Leave that aside. We have many God-fearing men who are doing God-fearing or God-fearing things. So we should leave that aside. And this is down to we as humans, our natural instincts, ability, capabilities, body structure, and how we have been designed. That was why I picked that testosterone, because women don't understand. They keep asking why men cheat. It is you bring it down to the root cause. This is why it happens. That testosterone alone can drive you wild. I would take it, for instance, Ima. As a woman, I would say probably definitely on an average, your testosterone level will be low. But if I inject 1,000 testosterone to you, you will run wild. You will run wild. And before you know it,
Mr. Emeka, King Emeka, right? So you are saying our creator, I mean, we can all agree that we're all created. Our creator created us to thrive on this.
Created us to thrive on what?
To the 1,001 testosterone and all that.
That is how we, because you said, you look at a man's body frame and you look at a woman's body frame, it's completely different. The reason for that is because we have different hormones. Not like we might probably, I think men also have a little bit of estrogens. But it is
I think much more than a little. I think it's
but
just
not
this thing
compared
that
to
makes
women,
women.
because we need that hormone, not compared to women, right? It's available, but not compared to women. You also have testosterone, but not in comparison to women. I know I listened to a story, I think on a podcast, where a woman took drugs that increased her testosterone level. This woman was sleeping around and she could not believe it. Herself could not believe what is going on with her body because of the pills she was taking. Increased her sexual desires to a point of no control. And she was sleeping around with men. And it now had to, when she went to approach a doctor, that was when she was told, oh, it's the pills you are taking. And because of her condition, she was in a crossroad of, do I need to continue taking these pills or should I stop the pills? But she was going in the beds of many men. That's the difference. That's the difference between a man and a woman. We are men. And I believe, just like you referred to the creator, and I believe it is there because we need to increase the population on earth. It's in the Bible. Go forth, multiply, and be fruitful. Go forth, be fruitful, and multiply.
But that's just with your
And you can tell,
partner.
if right there in the Bible, you can tell men having multiple women.
No, okay, Mr. Emeka, I'm sure this is all I can take from you for now. I have to move on to some other person. Thank you.
You might not
This
like
is
it, but I'm
this is
telling you the truth.
Osage, Osarity. No, not that. This broadcast is for just 2 hours, so other people have to give their
Okay.
submission.
All right,
So I
thank
will
you.
come back to you definitely. Osage Osarity is saying you are right, brother. Wahala. Where are the ladies? Please, this conversation is just not for the men, guys. Where are the ladies? Where are the ladies? If you're just joining in, welcome to the broadcast. This is the chat, and my name is Ima. Please do well to like the broadcast, share, invite someone, and also in the comment section, you have the dollar sign. Do well to support us by clicking on the dollar sign. You don't have to run a domiciliary account. Whatever account you're operating on is just about fine. Ladies, please click on the link. Let's talk. Please, let's call people out there. All right, that being said, Mr. Collins, welcome to the broadcast. Good afternoon, sir.
Hello?
Yes, Mr. Collins.
Yeah. I want to Mr. Tunaja to go on, then I will say after him.
Okay. Mr. Tunaja, good afternoon. Welcome to the broadcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Good afternoon. And greetings to members of the panel and viewers and the chat. Yeah, this topic, I think this guy said I should go first. That's funny. But I think for every rule that you think is favoring men, there is others that are disadvantaging them. And for every rule you think is oppressing women, there are others that also give them advantages. Um, I think that the reason why some societies succeed and others don't is because of some of those rules. And the ones that may embrace some of the rules most people admire today probably wouldn't survive to this day because clearly they are not conducive. That is why the rules are the way they are to the ones that actually survive. And I think that's something we need to understand. When we see something manifesting in the world, it's because that is what the world wished. Sometimes we think we are the ones in control, but our environments generally shape us. And that is what you are seeing there. Okay, imagine the way modern women behave now. That like, okay, they want to pursue their career, they want to have children at 35, 30, or sometimes even up to 40. And then you are going to find that they're going to have many children. And some of them will even go on not to have children. While maybe another society that decides that, you know what, let's behave like the way Northerners behave today, keep their women at home, let them have children. Guess who is going to inherit the world? Is the future going to find? Is them. They will not find the one that is doing the woke this system. So, and this is something we have to understand. There's a reason why our forefathers did what they did. It's because they understood that there are certain benefits that come from certain rules. It's not necessarily because it's very fine tuned. Obviously, sometimes it comes across as being cruel, but what you consider being cruel is a form of the sacrifices sometimes societies have to make it from today to tomorrow. And if you don't do that, it will be inflicted on you by your victor, the people that will defeat you, or the fact that your people die out. You see what I mean? This world you are living in, you have things going on around you. It's almost like you are born in it. You have to survive those your environment. You know, you have to survive your enemies. So rules have to put in place. So when we say rules are against women, we have to understand that societies generally, from what I find, they have valves. They when they oppress you here, they release valves there. Like in the case of women now, we talk about women being oppressed. Most of the laws that they put for women is mostly to protect continuity and order. Like, okay, you can't, you are not likely to marry more than one husband at a time because obviously paternity will be a problem. Nobody knows who the father is, and at the same time, um, uh, you can't service multiple men comfortably at the same time because obviously half or a quarter of the month you are not necessarily available. When you are pregnant, at least half of that pregnancy women are basically disabled, so you can't function for most men at that time. So there is a reason why you see polygamy but you don't see polyandry in the way societies evolved. This is just one basic example that I'm trying to describe. So, and on the reverse, you can see that when there is problem going on and people want to go and take risk and become expendable, guess what? The men cannot hide. Then they'll be the ones that will have to go forth and die, or if they are lucky they survive that war with one leg and one arm. If you look at after the civil war, you see so many men and many men that were with one legs. I think you guys don't see them now anymore. When we were growing up, we saw a lot of them, one leg, one arm, something blown off here, something blown off there. Many men were like that when we're growing up. So those things is the penalties men pay for being men too. Women don't necessarily go ahead to pay those type of prices. This is why historically men, 40% of men go on to procreate. That's in other words, even get old enough or prosperous enough to have children. 40%. While women, 80% of them procreate, go on to have children. So if we are all born equal, why is one dying so fast and earlier? That's not equal. That is favoring women. So I just thought maybe this about some when we talk about these things, we have to understand. This is why the other day I said we have to be careful when we talk about our forefathers in certain ways because there are balances to these things. The way this is balances themselves out. People don't just make rules that endure just out of downright cruelty. Even the ones that seem like they are just like from our way of looking at it, like this is just downright evil. It's not that clear cut. Nobody will pass it. If you pass that law today, would you accept it? What makes you think we are our forefathers? What makes you think they accepted it then? We can pass that law, we can decide to pass one of those crazy laws today. Who will accept it? Nobody will. Because they know better now. But then things were not so clear. So in summary, I would just say we need to, look at these things on the balance. And if you want to approach it, personally, the way I look at it is that if you want to approach it, we look at yeah, some laws appear to be against women. Okay, let's also look at the ones that are against men. Look at the ones that are against men if you want to equalize it. And remember, whenever these things start becoming equalized, ask yourself what is going on with your society while you are doing that, because there are consequences. While you are busy doing these things, making everything equal, and you are not looking at the downsides that come from it, then the other people that are not practicing it, that are practicing a more optimal system, will inherit whatever you are working for. It's just how it is. When our people sometimes want to copycat the West and they want to, pursue their career early and wait till later before they have children, what that means is that you're basically not having children compared to the other groups. They're not basically not having children. The other people's children that are having more children will come and inherit all the work you have done. So if you want to copycat the West, copycat the areas that are beneficial to your society while discarding the parts that are not beneficial. If anything, even tweak it. I always say this term, Africanize it in a way that it will benefit us. There's no reason why, if life expectancy gets up to 80 years or so, there's no reason why a woman cannot have a child in her early 20s, raise the child to the early 40s, then pursue a career for at least in 80 years, 40 years or so, if she wants to pursue a career later in her life. That doesn't impoverish or take the population away from the society. And that is something that even people in the West now begin to wrestle with. They are considering now. When they talk about teenage pregnancy, they used to stigmatize it. Now, maybe all those things were wise. Nature did that for a reason. When you do that, you can flip it on its head. The people will be younger, they will have more, they will have children. After they raise their children, then they go on to pursue their career. Instead of the other way around, where you pursue your career first, then you can't have children. What is going to happen? The ones that are sitting at home having children day in, day out, they'll be the one that will come and inherit the future. So this is why I say take what benefits you and tweak it to benefit your society positively. I wish we are seeing what is happening with the society when we do things. Most people just think about it from the moral point of view. We should look at it as what's happening to their society when they take actions. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Tunisia, thank you for your submission. Mr. Collins, before I get to you, we have a lady in the, and I cannot wait to hear a lady's perspective. So please allow me move on to Madam Princess. Hi, good day, Madam Princess. Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the broadcast. Please okay, I've helped you to unmute your mic. I cannot wait to hear your submission. Please take it away.
I also wanted her to say something before me.
Oh, great. Oh, great. All right, Madam Princess, please unmute your mic and give your submission.
Hello, everyone. While I was listening to every other person, I think I was able to grab a few of the main topics because I joined late. But I noticed that we're talking about men and their sex urges. And some of the guys here involved traditional beliefs and the likes. For me, I feel like when it comes to partnership and the likes, you have to involve discipline because you would not like whatever that is done to the other person. If you do not like it, you would not want it to be done to you. Now, for issues where, an individual cannot control their sex urges, it has to be most of them, they are medical issues. You cannot continue, encouraging that kind of behavior. It's either you seek help or,
I think she's having internet connection issues. Maybe I can just jump in clearly to clarify that, because she listened to my submission and was providing context. See, women keep thinking men are like them. That is the mistake they make. Now, it is even against our nature to be with one woman. I just gave you an overview of the difference in testosterone level between men and women. Now, based on what the submission of Tunanja, what he was saying, talking about what our forefathers did and was trying to refer it down to population growth and the rest, you could tell that right from the beginning of time, the existence of human on earth, men in different climes of the world had multiple women. We have documentary evidences for that, which includes, if one popular documentary evidence is the Bible, so you can start from that, widely available to everybody. You right from Abraham, the father of Israel, down to whoever and the kings, you could tell men had multiple women, including concubines. It is we now in this modern time that has decided that we want to stick to one woman, which is against our nature as men. A woman cannot sexually function as a man. It can happen because your biological nature is different from a man. And I clearly stated the levels of testosterone on an average man, not men who are not even average per se, 300 to 1,000 nanograms per deciliter to 10 to 35 nanomoles, not even nanograms, nanomoles per liter for a woman, not nanograms.
My internet went off.
Sorry about it. So I picked up where you left. Not nanograms, nanomoles, which is very little. But here we're saying if you can't control your sex drive, I think it's for a woman we'll be saying that. For a man, for men who even try to control it, blessings to them. Or maybe the average testosterone level that they have is not as much as other men. That's why men are more aggressive, because testosterone is a hormone that drives aggression. That is when men go into war. If you're a student of history, you find men fighting for supremacy, dominance, wanting to control other people. It's because of that same hormone that differentiates the genders. That hormone is responsible for the body mass of men. You see men being bulky and women being slender and curvy. That hormone is responsible for sperm production as well as sexual drive or sex drive, to correct myself. So when women say men should control their sex drive and hormone, it's out of context. You don't do that. You don't say that because you are not a man. You don't know what men go through on a daily basis. That I could see an attractive woman who is beautiful, aesthetically curvy. I'm like, oh, this woman is very nice. She looks good, regardless of the fact that I still have a wife. A woman would look at a man too and say, oh, this man is attractive, but she won't want to do anything about it. We are completely different. Women should get this. And I think men understand at some level that we are different from women.
Mr. Meka, please, can you allow let her finish so I can be able to say
I will let her pass her submission. I just took him because, so let me just stop talking at this point so that she can make her submission. But what I want to say is that women should stop thinking that men are like them. I want men, because I'm married, I know what it is, and I have lots of married friends, lots of married relatives and associates. Women want to control men. Simple.
Where is this coming from? Can anybody brief me in why we feel this that women want to control?
Mr. Emeka, how did we get to that place? Okay, I think it's been a huge digress.
To this point, right?
I think there's been a huge digress here.
Yeah,
maybe I should take a recap.
No, it's a debate. You are the moderator. You can bring the topic back, bring us back to topic, right? But the main topic, I believe, which you actually agree with me, is that a woman saw the husband sleeping with the sister, right? I am not justifying that fact, but what my provision was: don't put foodstuff littered on the ground in your house when you don't want rats to eat it. I am not saying what the man did is good. It is wrong. But for someone so I brought it down home in the sense that if you want your marriage to be strong, you now need to understand how men are. For a woman who is saying, I want my sister to come stay with me, I think she's careless. If she knows that a man's hormone, that testosterone, drives men wild, you will tell your sister, please, if you want to visit, just visit for 2 weeks and carry your wallet and go. You can't stay in my house. Please. And you still see men sleeping with their housemates. So for men, it not takes.
Well, is that not clearly lack of discipline? I mean, is that not clearly?
That is what I am explaining. What discipline do you want when you have hormone raging on a consistent basis, a hormone that defines you as a man? Now, if you are taking that discipline out, if you are taking that discipline and self-control, right? You are not saying, I will not do it with specific people. I can either go and do it outside, or if I don't even have the economic or the financial capabilities, those men who do that do not have the financial capabilities to go outside and do it.
Okay,
Men who
Mr.
sleep
Emeka.
Correct.
with their
Please
housemates.
let me
It
move on to
applies
someone
to
else,
women.
please.
The truth is that women to have urges. It's just that we try to not speak about it so that we don't hurt the other partner, we don't hurt our partners. If we're going to say, okay, we're going to permit it because of that, don't put your sister in the house, don't do that. Your brother-in-law should be in the house. Because I know a lot of people that they want to
Madam
have sex, even
Princess,
one. Can you hear me?
your line is really breaking. Your line is really breaking.
Okay, network.
Please, if you can change your location and continue.
Okay. Is it better at all?
No.
Is it better now? I think I left two pages open. Maybe they're the one again. Is it a bit better now? No,
No,
it's
It's
okay.
okay.
please.
Maybe next time then. Continue. Anybody else can. I was just trying to mention that if we're saying men have high testosterone, men have the urges too, and it shouldn't be an excuse or indisciplined behavior. That's all. And if there are medical conditions on why the partner is behaving in some certain way that disregard their vows, disregard whatever commitment they have, then that should be checked.
All right. Thank you very much for that. Thank you for being on the platform. Thank you so very much. Mr. Collins.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Thank you, my sister. And Mr. Meka, I understand you very well, and Mr. Tunaja, very well spoke. I understand everything you guys are saying, but I want to say something. Yeah, if something is not working for you, doesn't mean that it don't work for other people. That is one thing. If it's not working for you, it doesn't mean that it's not working for other people. It's not also working for other people. Those things that you think that is not possible for you, it's possible for people. Now, I want to say something. Yeah, please, before people said I'm not married, because that is what people use and say that you are not married. But sometimes you have to check. Everybody have their own policy, how you want to live your life. Right from the day you are giving birth, you know how you want your life to be. It depends. Sometimes depends your family you come from, how you were raised, the environment you grew up. So that is how people behave these days. So I want to say something. When people say things doesn't work because maybe you look at it that it's not possible, it's possible. Everything is possible. Depend how you set your goals or how you set your target. For me, if anybody telling me because of maybe my wife's sister is living with me that I should fall that victim, that person is deceiving himself. Because for me, it's not gonna happen. Because for me, in my house, I remember when I was in Lagos, I was living with my sister husband and also my husband, my sister husband, and his also brother. We all lived there together for years. You understand? So they live with my sister, then I live with their brother. So all the whole year we lived there, more than 6 to 5 years. We lived there peacefully. Nothing happened. So another thing I want to say, like for me now, somebody saying that because of you're living with your wife is living with your brother or your brother, your husband living with the wife's sister, should permit that person to commit all those those sin. No, it's not possible. It all depends how that person, how you are on the person thinks or how that person is. Like the other sister said, sometimes it's medical, sometimes it's some things happen like it runs in the blood or something in that nature. So for me, I don't think that people should use that as an excuse. People shouldn't use it as an excuse. For me now, I remember when we talk here, sometimes you sit with your full African brothers, they will tell you, say, if you go to Nigeria, there is no good girl in Nigeria. People use that idea. They always use that frame. But for me, I don't use that frame because I believe there is good people in Nigeria. So if you claim, because if you say your sister is good, that means if your sister is good, other people's sister is also good. So if you say your sister is bad, means other people's sister is also bad. So if you can't be say your sister is good, then now conclude that other people's sister is not good. It doesn't work that way. So you have to stick in one thing. So for me, one thing I believe, because for my house, I grew up in the middle of I have 6 sisters in my house. 5 of them is older than me. So I happen to be one of them is younger than me. So I live with them. I know how everything when it comes to women or how women behave on so many things about them. So kind of I grew up with them. They're kind of elder sisters to me. So I know how things being work in my own family. And I believe as the way things work in my own family, it's also work the same way in people's family. Like for me, since I've been Since my mother gave birth to me to this age now, I am 34 years old now. I haven't one day hit a woman. I haven't laid my hand in any woman. God forbid. I haven't. Because one, imagine somebody hitting my sister. Because if he try hit my sister, trust me, me and you will put leg in one trouser. So for me to feel that way, I shouldn't also try to hit someone sister or someone brother. You understand? So for me, I respect that. That is something I respect solely dearly to me. So if I go around hitting people's sister, trust me, people is going to hit my sister. So if people hit my sister, I shouldn't complain about it. My friend that I was living here, both of us live here last year. We lived together. Me and the boy, we live in the same house. Whenever he invites some guests, he used to hit them. Maybe if they say something, he will hit them. But do you know that last year the parents called him from Nigeria and told him that the sister was in the hospital? She said, well, he asked them what happened. They said the boyfriend hit the sister. They have to take the sister to hospital. So the boy now started making call to Nigeria, tried to contact boys to go and beat that guy. And I asked him, say, you want to go and beat that guy, but do you remember all those girls that visit you that you used to hit? So if they start inviting their own brother to come and hit you, how will they feel? You know that word I dropped make him to withdraw everything you have to do to maybe to go and call people to go and hit that ball. Because sometimes before you pinch people, pinch yourself. So if anybody telling you now, telling you that because of my sister, my wife's sister is living with me, that should permit me to do something on cough, I won't try it. It's not going to happen. So everybody have the way they want to live their life. So I believe there is good people and there is still bad people. So you don't need to mix two of them together because there is bad people. Then you now harmonize it together. Everybody is the same. No matter what a man, you can control yourself, unless when you choose not to. So you can control yourself. Like for me now, I have my own. Like for me, I have already set my own target. If I get married today, my wife is not going to wear wrapper in my house. That is my own policy. She's not going to wear wrapper. As in when women wear wrapper, she's not going to wear wrapper. And she have to look set at every time because you have to set your own target, how you want your own life to be. So because I don't want if I'm married tomorrow, I begin to look outside. Why should I go outside? That queen I'm chasing outside, I can make my wife to be that queen. So that king that my wife is looking outside, she can make me to be that king. It's all about what you set for yourself. So if anybody telling you that because of what is going on around the world, maybe because of people are living in different ways, you should live that way. I'm telling you here, it doesn't work for me. So everybody have the way. Somebody will say I'm not married. Maybe when I get there, I already, because for me, you have to start testing. I've been in relationship. So I've been in relationship. I know how to handle my relation, how I handle my affairs. So if anybody telling me I can't be able to handle my marriage in any way, that person is lying to himself. So what I'm saying here that in no conclusion, we shouldn't use something because I believe everybody can control yourself. You can control it no matter anything. Like now, anybody that is going to go to bank to steal or people like you see some people they smoke cigarette, they tell you say they can't go to toilet without smoking. That person is deceiving himself. Before you start smoking, you used to go to toilet. So are you telling me that because of that time that you go to toilet when you're not using cigarette, you're not going to toilet? So people find excuses in everything. They
So,
always find excuses
Mr.
in
Collins,
everything.
your submission is that testosterone, estrogen, whatever
And
it is, that
whatever it is,
you can
it's
discipline
all depends on
yourself.
the
It's
person.
all
Yeah,
about
discipline.
the mind.
Yeah, the
All
mind.
right.
So that is
All
what I
right.
want to say.
All right. Thank you for that. Yes,
Mr.
Gio
Mr.
says that
Collins,
based on this
Mr.
topic.
Collins, Mr. Collins, all those one you are saying, just pray. All those one that you are just saying, just pray that you don't fall into that situation.
I said it
All
here,
right.
but I don't believe it. But one thing I'm sure for, let me tell you something. Let me be honest. I want to say something here now. People used to, for me, I've been in a relationship in Nigeria. I used to call myself one of the luckiest person. I don't know how people talk about girls they have met in life. For me, people are always I come across in my life.
Mr.
I've
Collins,
done one
you're
or
an
two things in my
exception,
life.
right?
So I
Please
won't
not
use it to
say
I
the
won't use it
mistake,
to because
Mr. Collins, the mistake you're making is you're passing your assumptions on everybody. You keep saying everybody,
no, but
but
you are saying
to an
you
exception,
said
right?
here
Hold on.
before.
I
You
make
said
I
before
made
that it's not
reference. You see,
comfortable for
when
men.
when I want to make arguments on specific things, I don't do exceptions. I go to what is happening. People know men have extramarital affairs. Why? Scientifically, it's been proven that this is the reason why. Maybe for you, your testosterone level is below the average man. Fine,
Yeah,
that's good.
no,
Because
I
you
don't
see
believe
some
that.
men,
I don't
some
believe
men
that.
having women features, some men not being hairy enough, some men looking more like women. But you still see some men with so many hairs, masculine, because their testosterone level is high. We are not the same. So don't
Okay,
pass
Mr.
that
Emeka,
opinion on everyone.
I agree to the scientific aspect of this, right? But
Then
if you can draw the line, if you can draw the line between your mother, your sister, so why is
now
not? Why can't you
now
include your sister, your wife's family? I mean, you guys have become one family
I
by the reason of
agree it
marriage.
is wrong. I'm not saying it's a good thing, right? It is wrong. Clearly, it is not good, right? We could talk about
But
self-control, we could talk
but
about discipline, but the decent there is the woman who is in a marriage should understand a man. But I know women don't, and men too, at some level, do not. It's like, you're saying so you should be able to take some risk mitigating
okay,
factors. Now, let me go there. I like True Ninja's submission. Why I do
Mr.
like
No,
True
Mr.
Ninja's
Emeka,
submission.
Mr. Emeka,
Let me
Mr. Emeka, please. No,
just
no,
a
no, Mr.
second.
Emeka.
Just a second. If you take out laws, policies, custom, regulation, and directives out of this world, it is going to be chaotic. Why these things are put in place is because we want a society to be better. Like I am in the West. In the West, polygamy is not accepted, right? It is a custom for them, and they've passed it into law because they want one man and one woman. But previously, before it was done, they were marrying multiple women. Now, polygamy is accepted in Africa. It is a custom and tradition of us. Get the point is, so, but what we are trying to bring in is Western laws into African setting. Now, even in the West, even here that I am very aware men cheat like crazy. Men have extramarital affairs like crazy. But the only thing there is when you are being caught, your wife, who might have some right, might say, okay, I want to split, or okay, no problem, let's settle it in-house. But I can take it from me 100%. I see them. I know them. White men, Italian men, Indian men, Arabic men, Chinese men, even with their small PP. Men cheat crazily here. So women should understand, and I'm putting this context. Somebody says it's a medical condition. It is not a medical
How do
condition.
you know that men?
They
How
are
do you know that?
designed.
You can't
All
just give
right.
that. You can't just give that figure. You can't just come out and say men. You can't just
All right, Mr. Emeka and Mr.
you can't
Collins,
just
I
equate
have
that.
to move on, please. I have to move on. Thank you. Irene Finest. Hi, Irene Finest. Good afternoon to you.
Hi, Iman. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to everyone in the panel and all our viewers and the people in the comment section. Honestly, I never wanted to come in. I wanted to hear Princess speak before because I noticed at least a woman was in the panel, but unfortunately her network was bad. I actually came in because of Mr. Emeka or something. You said you are challenging Mr. Collins not to generalize, but in other words, you are generalizing, saying that women in general don't understand men. That we should understand that women and men are not the same. Of course, women and men are not the same. Same way men should also understand that women are not same as men. And that being said, if you can separate your mother, sister, as in people that are biological to you, I think if you are judging by Africa accept polygamy, in that case, Africa culture also design marriage as if you are married into a family, automatically you belong to that family, and the family of your husband belongs to you. And they make us to understand if you are marrying a man in Africa, you are not just marrying that man, you are married to the family. So now coming to the issue, the topic that is put here, a woman caught her husband in the act with the sister. Of course, both of them are to blame. But if you ask me, I don't I can before I can say I will blame the man more for making the move. But lately, the kind way cheating is going on right now, just as you said, there are so many women out there that cheat as much as men right now. But I will personally blame the person that made the first move because both of them know what they were getting into. Because both of them are supposed to see themselves as family. Okay, that being said, you people that are bringing the medical aspect into this, When we go to our tradition, as the topic is talking about, because this generation right now, the behavior of this generation right now, both men and women, have nothing to do with the generation of our grandmother or our great-grandmother. Their time was totally different. And I believe the kind of humor they were those days are still the kind of humor we are now, medically speaking. Because this issue of progesterone or testosterone or what you people might call it, they also have it in their time, but they were not as wide the way people are right now. So all these things, I see it as self-discipline is what I see here. Because this your idea of men are like this, men have high testosterone or all those kind of stuff. There are still responsible men out there that doesn't do all these things, that respect their marriage and respect their family. Same goes to women. There are a lot of married women out there that respect their home, that know the value of family as their husband does. So if you are saying that women should know that men cannot stay like that, is a lie. I think this, aside medically, this has to do with what you train yourself with personally. So if Mr. Collins is saying that he can do it, probably he has started, a man of 30-something years old, even if he's not married yet, he must have started the discipline now. Though you cannot predict what can happen tomorrow, but for him to be saying it as of today, he's sure of it. So you cannot tell him not to say men cannot do it. There are so many men, I have proof of it. I have in-laws, I have brothers, I have a husband, I have people around me that are well disciplined. I also have some that are not. So it's a thing of a choice, because for somebody to just wake up, you have a wife, it's not enough for you, and you want to cheat, you can't even go out there with somebody that your wife doesn't know, a total stranger. It has to be the sister or the house girl or her cousin or anybody in within the family. Trust me, that is not issue of progesterone. That is a total disrespect and lack of self-control. That is what I see there. Because he don't have respect for the marriage, he don't have respect for the wife, he don't have respect for his family. That is what I see. Because all these things, when you have respect and put your self-control to it, I am not saying that probably their progesterone cannot be high, they cannot go and cheat. Where I am hitting at right now is you coming into the family, and I cannot for any reason justify any form of cheating, but if you must, but coming into the family to do it, my brother, I think that is out of the world. Unfortunately, these are things that happen, but inside the family is uncalled for. It's uncalled for. There is millions of women out there. Why will it be in your family? You don't have to. You don't have to. Okay. So all this idea of generalizing it to men, to women have to understand men are like that, progesterone is high, and honestly, when somebody wants to disrespect his or her marriage, progesterone or not progesterone, the disrespect will be there. The lack of self-control will be there. That woman you make reference to before, there are women that could be on that same drug that she was on. They will still have self-respect. They will still know how to get hold of themselves, or go back to medical field where they gave her that drug and seek solution to it. Because we women, there are some drugs that
for that woman.
Excuse me, let me finish. I didn't interrupt you. Let me finish. When I finish, they can give you your turn. Then you can counter me, or you can make your own points. There are some drugs that we women, they can place us into that probably the effect might not be on sexual urge and some other thing. When it's affecting you one way or the other, maybe making you to add weight, eating too much, becoming lazy or sleeping a lot, you don't dwell on that the drug is making me to be sleeping. Let me continue sleeping. The best thing you can do is to go back to where they receive that drug for you and talk to them about it, the effect it's having on you, then they will take care of that. So she choose, because if you are not doing that before, you have not been sleeping around, suddenly you see yourself doing it, you should know that something is wrong, and at the same time you are on drugs. You should calculate, have a rethink, think. That is where self-control come in. Study your body, understand your body. So we don't come here to justify cheating with Bible, justify cheating with tradition, or excuse cheating of any form. It's not justifiable, especially when it's in the family. Thank you, Ima.
Thank you, Irene Finance, and thank you for being here. I needed a woman or
Just
women to
wanted to
come on here
jump on
for
that
us to talk.
woman's issue,
Mr.
right?
Mr.
We
Emeka,
cannot
please,
we
Mr.
cannot
Emeka,
condemn that
Mr.
woman because
Emeka.
we cannot condemn that woman because of the drugs she took. That
It is very disrespectful for me to be calling out to you and you allow it to fall on deaf ears. Please, please, please. If you're going to come back to the studio, if I call on you, you just have to do the needful, please. Thank you. Guys, this is to remind you that the team of Take Back Nigeria will be live at the debate today. So please, guys, tune in. You don't want to miss it, guys. You don't want to miss it. The team of Take Back Nigeria, Take Nigeria Back, team of Take Nigeria Back will be live today. So please, 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 don't forget to tune in, turn on your notifications. So as soon as Nigeria Watch goes live, you will be notified. That being said, Mr. Vine Maxwell, good afternoon. Welcome to the broadcast. So
Good
please,
afternoon.
topic on ground, right? A woman caught her husband in the act with her sister. She proceeded to send the sister out of the house, but she's still living with her husband. And now there are lots of cases like this. There are other cases of women, seeing the husband with or getting to know of an affair of the husband and a daughter, of course, the father of the child. And they get to send the daughter out of the house, or they get to manage the issue. She will just, what will I do? Things like that. So I'm like, why? Okay, there's this other story of a man that impregnated his wife's sister, and the family of the women came out to say you have to marry both of them. Now, these traditions, I think they favor them, because what do you mean by a house to marry? The wife she's going to be living a life of misery. She's going to be hurt. She's going to be heartbroken, disappointed. She doesn't have a choice. So this is what we are talking about today, Mr. Vine.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon from Bolgatanga, the upper eastern part of Ghana. And good afternoon to my co-panelists and our great listeners all over the world. You see, if you don't know the reason why God created you and why God created me and why God set up marriage as an institution, then that person, he or she, is not ready to be married or to be married. Self-control is the key for a man. And I will tell you today that it is a man that makes the approach to a woman. Sometimes in our own culture, African culture, it is difficult for you to see a woman making advancements or approaches to a man. It is always, let me say, 98% or 99.9% sexual advancement is always from the men side. We, the men. It is the prerogative of the woman to reject, to say no. The man won't force you. But when you fall mugu, the man will go in. The result is what we are talking about today. I can use myself as an example. If you saw me when I was in Nigeria, you would think maybe by now, because I am from a middle class family. You see, my mom didn't go to school, but she is a citizen of the United States of America, and she's been there for quite so many years now. For decades, she's been there with the rest of my people. We were brought up in a family where there is orderliness, respect, and this respect to the family where you come from. Anything that is going to bring the name of the family into total, disrepute Avoid it at all times. This is what we were told in the family. And we were born in a time when people, children, men and females were taught on self-respect and how to respect people, and that it is not just only your immediate family that can reprimand you when you do evil. But today, my sister, let me just see my daughter or my son misbehaving on the street, scold her, or get her flogged on the legs the way they used to do, to us in the village in those days. If you hear the complaint, what will you do? You will run to me and tell me, Maxwell, why are you flogging my child? Why are you training my child? Did I ask you to train my child for me? This is the beginning of the problem. In Igbo, there is an Igbo adage that says the man will never learn how to use the left hand at old age. He must have been, learned it when he was or she was young. So this is the problem we have today. For me, I blame myself. I was 24 to 25 years old when I lost my virginity. I will not be scared to say that here. And that was in Liberia, not even in Nigeria. That time I started earning salary. I was being paid in dollars in Liberia, Ecomog, 1998, 1997, just a year to come back to Nigeria. I lost it there. I was a professional soldier as at that time. When we make mistake, we begin to blame scientists and the high rate of progesterone, testosterone, or whatever. Wrong is wrong. Evil is evil. You don't supposed to do it. Do not use scientific models to cover evil that men commit or women commit. Because you look at what is happening today. A man has decided to become a man or suddenly, and he was created a man, and he suddenly changed to a man. And when you ask that person, he will tell you, that is how I see myself. That is how I see myself. I see myself as this. I see myself as this. And that person has rejected what God has made him to be. Look, a man that sleeps, or as in this case, to his wife's sister, that man lacks self-control and discipline. And I am not generalizing it. I might not do it. Another person might do it. And that does not mean that it is not wrong. It is totally wrong for me, on my own side. You go out there, don't you have self-control? You marry the sister is your wife. You've been living in there with the sister. Then then the sister just came into the house. You just, what is the love there? A man that left his wife and slept with the wife's sister, has no love for that woman. In the military, if you commit such thing to a fellow military comrade, you will be dismissed from the army, because it is assumed that once you have the right to sleep with your friends or whatever, wife or whosoever, you have the capability of killing him in the war front and come back and take the wife. That's how serious it is there. But the level of our morality has gone down. People do not take these things as anything again. Some people will do it, some people will not do it. And when you ask them, they justify what they do. The reason why our people were marrying in those days, polygamy was, very, very rampant in those days, was because lizards were few on this earth. Today, there is a rise in population. People were married because, the number of farms I can farm to become SAG, the Sarikin Doya, Sarikin Noma, the king of farm or whatever. These were the reason why people were marrying so much, in order to have so much hand that are going to till the ground for them. Food was, in abundance. Everything was in abundance. But today, We are chasing after scarce resources that are not even. How do you feed 2 or 3 women now as a man in your house? Morally, and common sense will tell me, no, Maxwell, you cannot do this. Let me just settle for one woman. One woman alone is enough for me. In fact, people are not even giving birth now the way they should be in those days. You see people now giving birth to 1, 2, or 3. It's enough for them. They are cut. It's just a way to cut costs and to, to bring up a healthy family. Don't let us use our, especially men. I'm talking of myself. I cannot use my ego and my mistake and justify. I committed an error, something that is abomination to me,
All
as
right,
far as
Mr.
I know.
Maxwell.
Then you justify it with scientific, modules. No, I don't agree to that. It is bad. And if the woman accepted the man back after all these things, I will tell you that that woman so much love the husband, and she agrees to the tenet and the teaching of Jesus Christ. That is what I would say. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you. That kind of love, that man should be very afraid. What? You love the husband, but you don't love your sister enough to cut off ties with her because of that act. Okay, guys, this is another reminder that today, this evening, during the 6 p.m. broadcast, the debate will be having the team of Take Back Niger on the broadcast. They are the guests for today. So tune in early. You take your spot early. To those that would want to be on the panel, come in early. You already know how it is during the debate. All right, I have Mr. Charles. Mr. Charles, before you go on, Bella Naomi, thank you. Thank you for your donation. Thank you so very much. I'm sorry. Thank you. Thank you so very much, Bella Naomi. God bless you. Thank you. All right, Mr. Charles, good to have you on this broadcast. Good day, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Sema. I've been listening. Honestly, sometimes there are things in here that is happening. You ask yourself, where is self-discipline? Like Brother Nice was saying, and the last person that's just speak. You see, most things that happen, actually, if, like he said, if I cannot do it, maybe another person can do it. We all came from families where we sometimes live with our sister-in-laws and the husband, brother-in-laws and the wives, and in those families, you find out that there are some of their sisters will come. I am married, actually. I live here. I came to Australia with my sister-in-law. We came together with my wife. You see, and we also used to live together back. Each time I returned back from South Africa, we live together. Then we all live around, something like that. You see, even if I want to cheat, it must not be my wife's sister. It cannot. And you see, and all these things depend. It depends the family you grow up with. Like my family, I used to make boast of it every day. My mom, up to today, don't know. The only thing she cannot vow is that uh, uh, she have not seen like she cannot vow that I don't have a girlfriend when I was back, when I was in Nigeria. But my mom can vow that she have never seen me with any woman. Even when I have started making my own money, own my own business, living on my own, I never come home with a woman in our house. Because where I grew up, I see my elder ones, my sisters, they can't just go out in the morning like I see some ladies do on the night. You just go to your boyfriend's house, come back in the morning. I watch them, they can't do it. I watch my elder brother, he, even if his girlfriend is coming, he will hide it. Despite that, he has been making money on his own business. He never do. So with that thing I've been seeing, I say, that means if this one did not do it, am I the one? How possible? Even this thing happens when even we have lost our father. My mother was a kind of woman that someone will give you a slap in your face, slap you, like you ask yourself, even one day I say, Mom, even at this my age, you still slap me? Say yes. If you do nonsense, I give back to you. If you make mistake, I cannot tolerate it. It was like, wow, wow, wow. This is terrible. So all these things, all about where you came from, if you cannot control it, why would you start lusting after? Even if your wife's sister is dressing anyhow in the same house, you talk to your wife. Look, I don't like the way your sister is dressing. I don't like the way. Don't she know that she need to dress very well? She don't need. You talk to your wife. If your wife is maybe have talked to her and you tell her no, you have to go. That's how that's how a disciplined man do. You have to stand firm with your word. Look, if I come back to this house anytime, see you dressing like this, you will leave this house. She will control herself. She will know that you can't take nonsense from her unless you are the one who is going after her, as many men do. But as for me, I am the kind of person I can stay 1 year. If I'm not with my wife, I can stay as long as without even looking at anybody. Because I know, one, there's a lot of things going on. A lot of people will want to blackmail you. A lot of people will just do anything to get at you. So you have to be very careful, control yourself, because you are living in a society where what you did now, you think, oh, you just do it. In 20 years, somebody can bring it up. All this will make you to have self-control and control yourself. But today, people don't care, especially this generation we find ourselves today. They sleep around like sex has become something that you can give as Coca-Cola to the next person. Like someone say, marriage. Sometimes I ask myself so many questions. Is it compulsory that you must marry? It's not compulsory. Marriage is not by force. If we cannot respect a marriage, if we not respect marriage, you better not marry than to go and marry and be messing around. Imagine, you are married, people see you outside there sleeping around. Every time you come home, they come and tell your wife, and your wife will be like, every time, look at me. What did I do to you? Am I not beautiful? What is that you're looking at? You're looking at from other women I do not have, and you are comfortable with it. Talk of your own sister-in-law. What kind of sickness is that? What kind of medication is that will make you to do that? And you'll be using that as an excuse. Even if you drink, like my sister said, even if you take a medication and it's having an effect on you, go back to the people that gave it to you. They will take care of it. What kind of nonsense are people talking, and you are justifying it? Call wrong. This is the problem we have today. Even if you
All
are
right.
the GD, call wrong.
All right, Mr. Charles. Thank you for your submission. Thank you, guys. You're just joining in. Welcome to the broadcast. Thank you for being here. Please do well to like, share, and invite someone. But guys, please, you need to like so that this broadcast can travel very, very far. Thank you so very much. Welcome to the broadcast once again. Mr. Gio, it's good to have you here. You made it. Welcome to the broadcast, Mr. Gio. Please unmute your mic.
Thank you for having me. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You've been following the story, Mr. Gio, so give your submission.
Yes. First of all, I'll say I'll commend the last two gentlemen that spoke. I think it warms my heart to hear Nigerians speak this way. You know, the third guy was kind of like taking things to the extreme, talking about biology and the nature of man. I mean, I understand our testosterone as men will make us do things that we want to justify, using so many things to justify. But I think, that's just us being stupid or being a coward. The topic itself, talking about a man taking advantage of the sister's wife, and first of all,
I'm sorry,
both.
Mr. Gio. I'm really sorry to cut right in, but there are some words that are not allowed on the platform. So you need to take that back and apologize,
Yeah,
please.
I'll take that back. I'll take that back. Excuse my French. Um, the topic.
Mr. Gio?
Yeah, can I continue now?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Sorry about that. On the topic on itself, both parties are wrong in the sense that, for the man to make that move to sleep with the woman, not just a woman, but the sister's wife. I mean, that's the biggest violation in any institution. I mean, if you're going to make a commitment to be married to a woman, I mean, you've basically saying, I will let go of every other earthly desires and focus on my wife. And for him to not just sleep with another woman, but the sister's wife, I mean, for anybody to come and justify that, it just doesn't make any sense to me. If you want to be single and you want to use your testosterone as an excuse to sleep around, go ahead. And us Africans, we're used to always trying to use culture and tradition and say, oh, because I'm a man, I have the right to do this. I think it's asinine. We cannot be like that. Like the other gentleman said, the reason why men back in the days were having more kids, it was economical. It was because they needed people. In a way, it was kind of some form of like slavery, if you want to think about it, because men were just having kids just because they were looking for people to come maybe work on their farmland. It wasn't because they actually cared. They just want workers pretty much. And for us to be now in a modern time and era to start using that same argument to justify the way we like our sexual desires just to sleep around, knowing that we have limited resources. I mean, we don't have limited resources, but we can't like do because everything's kind of like go mechanical and there's no much food production. It makes no sense. So I think we need to stop being childish and address issues for what it is. You made a commitment to be married with your wife. You went to the court. You went to the church to make that commitment. Just stick with it. And if you make a mistake, apologize, do the needful thing, and own up to it. And for the wife to accept the husband back, I think it's based on two conditions. You may say, she must have loved him that much. I think also it falls back to the well-being of the family. Economics, is either she can go through life by herself, knowing that the man is the sole provider of the family, and she knows if she leaves the marriage, she won't be able to cope with the family. So she has to stay. In a way, she's kind of like tied to this institution of marriage. And that's how I look at it, and that's all I have to say about this issue.
All right, Mr. Gio, thank you for your submission. Thank you very much. And I tell you, somebody said she if she stays back, it is because she loves the man. Love, no, that's far from being love, and you should be very, very afraid of such love. Yes, but
I have a
yes,
question.
I know that there can be repentance. I know that she can forgive, but she was not staying back because of love at that point. Probably because of, yes, there is the love part of it. Yes, there is the love part of it. But this is her sister. It will take more than love. It will take more than love for her to still stay back. You should be very worried. I mean, I'm a woman and I'm saying you should be very worried. Thank you to everyone who has been part of this broadcast. Irene Finest, thank you so very much. Bella Naomi, thank you for being here. G Simon 137, Johnson Emmanuel. Yes, I'm doing all right. And you, thank you for being here. Been a minute, Johnson Emmanuel. Thank you for being here. Innocent, hi, thank you for being here. Chidi, hi Chidi. Thank you for being here. Osage Osarity, Mr. Mika is here. Thank you for being here. So many. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you to each and every one of you. Gio, thank you for being here. To Niger, thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you to everybody. All right, I'll come back to each and every one of you for your submissions. Uh, Mr. Emeka, yes, Mr. Emeka, please.
Yeah, thank you, Emma, very well. I think a lot of people are taking my discussion out of context, right? I'm not saying sleeping with your in-laws is appropriate, right? Um, Especially when there are customs and traditions or things agreeable within people in a society that shouldn't happen. Then, when I speak, I don't speak on just to be right. I speak, I'm a practical man. I speak on what you see, observable concerns. I try to want to understand what's going on. At some point in history, slaves practice was considered good. And within the 18th century, it was not said, oh no, we don't want to do this anymore. So which means at some point, certain practices were considered to be okay, and it moves and said no. Now, what defines wrong from right is because a group of people has said, we don't want to do this. At some point, marrying women from the same family is considered right. Even to this practice till today, I'm not saying it's something we want to do or it's something I want to do for myself, because I'm listening to men making this and I'm wondering, are these men or are they trying to just to be right? But I will look at it from an angle and say, okay, probably they will just want to say, oh, what? Because customs, tradition, practices, legislations, rules, and not to be incriminated has designed us to act this way. Then maybe that's why they're speaking this. And I typed something on the comment section. Take out laws, take out rules, take out legislation, and let's all live. We are going to have a society where the strong will eat the weak, most definitely. But we want fairness, equity, and we want to treat people right. That's why we introduce these customs, we introduce these situations to make things right. But don't come here in a public forum to justify certain things. Oh no, I'm this kind of man, I'm this. Because I'm looking and I say, this is the reason why. Because I try to go to the root cause. Why are men aggressive than women? Do a Google search, you will see it. Why are men, because you say, why do men do certain things and women do certain things differently? You will see it. But when you now say, coming up with submissions, oh, this and that, men are more aggressive. Take out laws. Tomorrow your neighbor will come and kill you and take your property away. If there are no consequences for certain actions, tomorrow somebody will look at you and say, oh, this guy is a lovely lady, and just rape you. But because there are consequences, there are paybacks. People will want to behave themselves, and not just because oh, I want, and you find people saying the Bible or this and that. Let's throw that aside. Let's keep that aside. If there are no laws and agreeable principles, there will be chaos in the land. It will be drawn down to biological instincts, the instinct to dominate, survive, and subdue. Simple. And I said, let's go back to the nitty-gritty of what caused these issues. Men are more aggressive than women because they have more testosterone than women. Men have more sexual desires than women because they have more testosterone than women. Now, if we introduce other factors into this, when you say self-control, why are you controlling yourself? Because there are consequences. Why do you want to be disciplined? Because there are consequences. What consequences? That you'll be ridiculed in the society, or you could go to jail, or you could be cast away, or you could be locked up. Now, if you're saying, I want to be dutiful, I want to stick to one woman, I want to be, that's a choice for you. But in Africa, you could do what you want to do if you are financially capable. Don't say these things, because if another man is here, he won't like it. In the North, you're allowed to have as many women as you want. It's your religion as well as it's your custom. So to say that, this is what no, let's look at it from a broader context, from a much proper context. Economically, yes, you might want to stick to one woman, but can one woman satisfy a man? Never. Our testosterone are not the same. It is not the same. Go from the history when the Creator created us. Men had multiple women with them.
So why did our Creator? Why did God create just Eve? Why didn't He create Eve, Nkechi, Imabong?
We could, if you want to go into the Bible, we could take that argument differently. I don't want people to run away from here. Because there are submissions I will make here. People will say, "Oh, this guy, what are you saying?" Let's leave the religion.
I have a question. I have a question.
For him?
No, not for him. Generally for the panelists.
No,
okay,
wait, but let me finish. You can ask your question
turn,
during your turn. No verse, my brother. So what I'm saying is, why are we well behaved? Is because there are consequences to our actions. If you take out all consequences, when in history, I'm a student of history. Go and look at history. When there are no consequences, trust me, you will see madmen, wild men. You will see their testosterone going up. And again, scientists have now shown that the testosterone level in men is declining. That is why in the West, they are not producing more babies than us. And that is why you find that places like Australia and Canada and England, they are looking for immigration, though I think in England, they just want more skilled workers. But in Canada, their population is decreasing. The men there, their testosterone level is dropping. But for we in Africa, we are pumping hard. Our testosterone level is still hard. You see, I posted on the comment section, and I'm not trying to just to be rude. I don't want to be rude, right? I want some women on the comment section or wherever, come and submit yourself to testosterone injection to that of a man, so you can understand. I don't understand how what goes. I could want to empathize during a woman going through an ovulation or childbirth, because I've witnessed childbirth. It's a difficult situation, but I've never experienced it. Or menstrual cycle, I've never experienced it. I don't know what it is.
So, Mr. Emeka, you are saying that because of the way a man is built, right?
Because of the way a man is built.
They cheat more.
Don't say the word cheating. In some society, that's not cheating. They want more sexual partners. Don't use the word cheating.
Okay. So because of how a man is built, they have more sexual partners.
Yes, let me conclude. The way biologically a woman cannot satisfy a man. You have your ovulation cycle in a month. You have your menstrual cycle. You have your ovulation, and some days you have your mood swing.
We have to move on to some other people.
So you cannot satisfy a man. That's the way you are designed.
Right. So that's your submission. Thank you, Mr. Emeka. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Collins, I'm so sorry. The numbers are scattered, right? But Mr. Collins, I know you guys started the show, but the numbers are mixed. So I will just call it the way I have on my screen. So please, apologies, please. Mr. Collins, please give your submission. Please, in 2 minutes, please.
I don't have much to say. I just want everybody have their own life to live. You know where you come from, you know how you were raised. So if everybody have the way they think that works for you. So if you know the one that works for you, please do stick with it. So that is my own submission. I don't want to say too much. I'll begin to argue on something that I know very well that works for me. So I gotta stick with it. So until when it's not working for me again, then I can begin to change about it. So if things are working, I don't need to fix it. So when it's not working, then you can try to fix it. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Collins. Guys, please do well to like this broadcast, share, invite someone, and I hope you've turned on your notification bell. So for every time Niger Watch comes live, you would be notified. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Do not forget the 6 p.m. debate today, Friday, 6 p.m. Today's Friday, so we have the debate. Yes, guys, and we have the team of Take Back Niger. Yes, as our guests today on the broadcast. So come in early, click on the link early enough if you want to be part of this. I mean, you have an idea what we'll be talking about. You remember them from previous broadcasts. So be here and be ready. Get ready for the information that will be going out. Thank you. Mr. Tunaija, please, your submission. Mr. Tunaija, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
How's been your day?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I can see that your day has been okay too. You have been hearing a lot of opinions. And on this one, I think Emeka and the other guys that spoke, they all have their own points. I think they are talking over each other from different points of view. The others are talking about just because men have so predispositions, it doesn't mean that they cannot be trained and they cannot have this certain impulse control. Which is, there's some truth there. Obviously, you know, you can have a wild horse or wild boar and it can be trained to be domesticated. That is true. But it still also means that what Emeka was saying is also accurate. People have certain impulses by default. They have certain impulses. So this is what this is the nature of a man, and this nature is because they have to be more risk taking. They need to take more risk to defend their territory, to defend their spouses, their children, and you know that was the next generation, the survival of the very human species. So this is how men have evolved, and because of this risk that they have to take, because life sometimes there is scarcity. There is everybody doesn't have everything they want. Even when you have everything you want today, tomorrow you may not, because what happens in nature is it's a funny game, isn't it? They say man plans and God laughs. When you plan, you have food today. Tomorrow, you have more children. And when you have more children, you need more food. And before you know it, you have scarcity. And when you have scarcity, sometimes it leads to fight for food, struggle for food, and the men have to do their job. And when they do their job, many of them die. And when many of them die, there are women without these husbands. And then the men can go on to have children with those women. It means that biologically, women are more valuable while men are more potent, because you can have one man survive and, you know, with 10 women and the society will carry on. But if you do the reverse, that society is dead. So this is how we have evolved to get to this point. And like in the case of this, individual that was with a fellow, you know, his wife's sister. I think sometimes people just like to pretend as if they are all like, saints and all the rest of it. Personally, from this point of view, when I look at things, that for me, in terms of if they are rating it from 1 to 10, that is about 4 on the scale in terms of danger to family structure. Because the thing about family structure, I think people misunderstand this sometimes. They just think it's always about emotions, and it's very fundamental to survival of societies. It's very, very fundamental. Except you have another way of forming societies and how it functions.
Please, you have a minute. Please, you have a minute.
Yeah. Okay. So these things are very fundamental. This is to societies, and when people keep acting as if this modern way of doing this is the right way, it's a terrible and grave mistake. And I say this to most of our women, especially in the South now. What you are doing, there will be consequences and there will be reckoning, especially in the context of Nigeria. Europeans even have the luxury of being all European. When it comes to Nigeria, we have two same race, and one side is having more children more than the other, and the others are think it's just fun because they are like, oh, we are woke and we are independent women. Yeah, you are independent today. Tomorrow, the other woman's children is going to inherit all your hard work. We have to understand that when that man is saying that the women.
Thank you. I just want to thank you for your submission. You are speaking. You are thinking like a philosopher, right? People might not understand where you're coming from, but I do. I know what you're saying. I know where you are driving. You're saying certain things that many do not see. And I when you speak,
we are rounding up.
I appreciate your views and opinion. Very sound, very, very logical from a philosophy point of view. Well spoken. Just wanted to say thank you. That's it.
All right, Mr. Tonanja, Mr. Emeka, that's all the submission I can take from the both of you. Thank you. Brother Nice, please. Please, in 1 minute, Brother Nice. Oh, you have a question. Okay, please, 2 minutes, please.
Yeah, thank you. First of all, this topic, Ms. Ima, that you brought is very controversial. If we not use brain, this one will cause fight for this platform. So now wisdom person go use for this topic. So anyway, Mr. Emeka has a valid point, for what it was, the submission. He has a lot of points in his submission. So if anybody want to take it to account, not those ones that are just saying that I have self-control, I can do this, I can do that. I'm a Christian. I believe that there's no, I can even say that I don't even know if a lot of men have self-control more than me, but I still avoid these situations. I said I sacrifice outside from my in-laws when they are around. My girlfriend, when her sister is around, I stay outside for 1 year. I'll go outside when she's around. So I know what I'm doing, not to fall into any temptation, because nature You can't cheat nature. You understand? So all those ones that are just saying that where you were born, where you
But
have a
Anais,
self
please, I want to
control.
ask you a question. Does your girl, does she know that you leave the house because
I will tell
does
her.
she know the
I will
reason?
tell her.
And she's still with you though.
I will tell her. I will tell her that I don't want to stay
All
when
right.
your sister is around. When she's around, I prefer to leave so you have your good time with your sister. Because imagine when the sister she's more beautiful more than your wife. The temptation can come from nowhere. Forget you cannot be a Christian to that extent. So
All
for you,
right.
that is the reason why I told you the first time that to avoid such thing,
So
it's
we
better
should
you
not
just
blame
rent.
the man. So we should not blame the man. That's what you're saying.
The blames have
Or
to
like
go
Mr.
to both.
Emeka,
The blame.
the fault is with the woman that allowed such sumptuous young fresh girl to stay in the house. As they say, why keep yam where there is goats?
That is why I'm telling you that what Mr. Maker was saying has a valid point. Because to avoid that situation, that circumstance not to take place, it's better you just tell the girl, I will rent a place for you. If it's a room you rent for her, she stay there, she can come to your place time to time. It's better to
All
avoid
right.
those kind of temptations. Because
All
when it
right.
happens, you see, there's a comment that somebody left. He said for you not to disgrace your wife, you should tie your third leg to your lap. That one is another solution too. If you know you are a man that is that is flat, so you can tie your third legs to avoid that kind of situation. But I know that it's a very difficult situation to handle. So this one not be by bragging, not be by Bible.
All right, very nice. Thank you. Thank you for your submission. Guys, if you're here, you're just joining, please do well to like this broadcast. Like the broadcast, please. It's an appeal. Also share, invite someone, turn on your notification bell at today's broadcast. Tonight's broadcast is going to be very hot. We have a guest, team of Take Back Nigeria will be on the broadcast today. You don't want to miss. You want to be here live and direct. So invite everybody, share the link, and turn on your notification. Also, while you are here with me, you can support by clicking on the dollar sign to the right in the comment section. Thank you very much. Mr. Van Maxwell, please, in 1 minute, please. We are out of time.
Thank you, my sister. I would just like to say that God created man and woman and gave us choices. The choice, if a man decide to have her wife's sister, is the choice that he has taken, and I have my own choice. Like me, I live with my wife and the sisters. So for many years now, that has never even occurred to me. So the way you make your bed, that is how you are going to lie on it. Thank you, and God bless you.
There you go, Mr. Van Maxwell. Thank you for that. Thank you. Mr. Gio, please.
For me, I mean, I've heard other panelists, give their opinion, and in some way, I feel a little bit offended by Chukwemeka's comments, because the truth is, he took this topic to another level. This topic is not about a culture, about history, about tradition. It was about a man taking advantage of the wife's sister. Address the issue for what it is. If you want to go based on tradition, you want to go based on history, you want to go based on Bible and all that, of course he's right. Maybe his goal here is to prove that he's a student of history. We get it. He's right in that concept. A man will always want to sleep around. It's in our nature to sleep around. We understand that. But when you make a commitment in this situation, maybe this topic should have been a little bit more clearer and say, oh, in the Hausa tradition, this is what happened. Then we'll say, you know what? The man is within his right to do so, because in the Islamic tradition, they're allowed to do so. And the same thing with the Igbos or maybe with the Yorubas. But when you say the question for what it is, for the man to step out of his own marriage to make that move on the sister's on the wife's sister, I mean, there's no moral justification for that. We all, I mean, if you go to a Catholic church, you made a vow to forego whatever desires you have for any other woman to sleep with another person. So I think we should just focus on that, what the topic is, and not take it from what it is now. We're not here to talk about history of man and our biology and our testosterone. It's about what it is. Let's just focus on what it is and address the issue for what it is. That's all I have to say.
All right, thank you for that. Thank you so very much. Is there anyone who has anything they would like to chip in just before we wrap up the broadcast?
Yeah, just a quick one. So just to Gio. Yeah, thank you, Gio. I appreciate you bringing it down to the topic. I've already made my submission in the first round. I was earlier myself with Too Nice or Nice Bro. Sorry if I'm not getting his ID properly. What I was trying to say in this aspect is it is wrong because we have defined that it is wrong in our own setting. Maybe probably we in the South, we are more tend to be closer to the West. We have defined that it is wrong. So we would not want to do things like that. So, but you're right in the sense that I took it to a different level. I tried to take it to the top just to explain the difference because on the chat section, on the comment section, I was saying some women throwing it, why are men cheating? Why are men doing this? And I'm trying to explain this is why we are who we are. Understand? Just like I won't understand the menstrual cycle or period of a woman. I've never experienced it. I don't know what it's like. I've never given birth to a baby. I don't know what it's like. And because I'm not a woman, why do I want to be interested in having menstrual period? I'm not a woman. I don't have the hormones for that. So if women, because if you read some of the comment section, you will see what they're saying. And I said, women will just want to control men, but this is who we are. It's our biology. Just like I don't know how your mood swing, because I could tend to understand that why you have mood swing is because your hormones are misfiring. You have hormones misfiring differently. You have mood swing. But maybe we don't have mood swing. We wake up in the morning. Maybe if you have mood swing, it's probably you don't have money in your account. And you're like, what the hell? If you have money in your account, you're balling. You're happy. You're moving on. You're providing for your kids. You're providing for your wife. You're moving on. But women are different. We are not women. We don't understand that men are different. Women should understand that. We're different. This is who we are. If they tend to understand that, they will appreciate that fact. If that woman knows that men are like this, she would not bring her sister into the house to live with them. She would like, I don't want this issue at all. No, stay in your house. Stay with the parents. I want to keep my marriage. That's what I was trying to, that's the point I'm portraying. Because I will tell you clearly, I will tell the men here, women don't understand us. I will tell you.
We clearly don't. We don't get that education.
Yes,
we don't,
I
and
know.
I think it's important
Why I'm saying this is because I discuss and I interact. I theorize these things. I explain it to women. They don't understand us, and many just don't want to understand us. Some want to, but many just don't want to understand it. Like, hey, no, you have a woman saying tie your third leg because you don't want. But why? No, if I tell another woman to say, "Oh, why you always bleeding through your private part all the time? Why don't you just tie it up?" How would a woman feel? I'm a woman. It's what I'm supposed to do. That's how I've been created. But what irritates me is when we have some other men who I tend to call weak men, trying to want to say I'm a feminist, or trying to say, oh no, a man should do this. When you need to understand your nature. If you don't understand your nature, how do you put bricks mitigation to control things?
Mr. Emeka, let me just ask my question.
Mr. Emeka, I do agree with you. We're on the same page when it comes to the nature of man. I completely agree with you. You have to understand and I'm not trying to be condescending in any way when it comes to like this issue, because women would never get that. Like you said, they would never understand that men are designed that way. Scientifically, it only takes 5,000 men to impregnate all the women in the world. We all know that. But if you tell a woman that, you're going to start a third world war. We don't want that. You know that you don't want that. So we
need to let them understand. Because men are keeping quiet. Men are not speaking. Just like they don't understand. If more men, especially in the West, speak and say this is who we are.
But the makeup, can you just step aside? Let people say something first.
No, I think we're running. I'm having a clear, just clear.
Yeah, you already made your.
What I'm saying is for the women in the panel, for other women, so they can understand who we are.
You
Because
already made, they already
Okay,
understand.
so
You already made your
I think we would have one broadcast to talk about why men cheat, or yeah,
don't
if
use
that
the
would
word cheat.
suffice.
It is not okay.
But that
Let
was
me
what
say
you
something.
just
Miss
said.
Miss Emma, Miss Emma, I
Okay,
want to
or
ask a
whether we would
question.
say, why is it impossible for one woman to satisfy a man? Right. If
Miss
that
Emma,
sits well with you, we'll find a good day. Okay, brother, nice. Ask your
Before
question real
Brother say
quick,
something, I
please.
want to
yeah.
make, because the question what I'm going to say is to Brother Nice. Before I say, let me finish so he can complete whatever he wants to ask. Brother Nice, you say something before you conclude your last submission. You are talking about some men not using family or wish or where they grow up or something like that. Let me tell you something. Sometimes, if you like, you believe it. If you don't believe it. We have to be honest here. If you are talking something in the name of you just want to talk, that is your own business. Everybody have their own way of life. I can't choose to live like Bronice. I can't choose to live like Mr. Emeka. I can't choose to live like Mr. Tunaija. Everybody have their own life. So, like in my house now, I can hit my chest and tell you that in my house, nobody smokes in my house, nobody drinks in my house. That is it in my house. Nobody drinks. So that have been going on in my house. So I can't come out here and start claiming or maybe such a thing don't happen in my house. This is how things happen in my own house. So I don't know how it happened in your own home. I don't know how it happened in your own family. So everybody have the way they were raised. Everybody have the way their own family is being, like in Igbo land. Everybody have their own, how your foundation have been laid. My own house, we have our own foundation, how our own foundation being built. So everybody have their own foundation. So you don't expect me to start living your own foundation. It doesn't work that way. So whether you believe it or you don't believe it, what I'm saying here is that if people are still trying to justify every other reason that will make them to cheat their wife, that is on you. It's not my problem. You can use whatever, you can use psychology, you can use medical, anything, you can use traditional to back up whatever you want to say. It's on you, it's not on me. So everybody have their own way of life, how they want to live their own life. So I know how I want to live my own life. So you don't want to force me because of men. And for me, not live that kind of life doesn't make me a half man. No. Everybody have their own way of life. So I have my
All
own way
right.
of life. So I don't want to live another person's life to make it for me to justify that every man have to be cheating. No, everybody have their own way of life. So I have my own way of life. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Brother Nice, please, real quick, please.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Collins. I heard what you said. What I want to say, the universe understands this, that men cannot control their immune. That's the reason why. Okay, my question is that if it's real that people does not, the universe does not understand this, there will not be. You see, there's a lot of rape everywhere. You see rape. There's a lot of cases of rape, more than other cases in tribunal. Whenever you go to tribunal, it's because of this same situation we are talking about now. So that is why they now try to put a law that can regulate all those situations. That any man that rape go to prison, any woman go to prison, because it's a situation that we cannot control. It's beyond human nature. So that is just what I want to say. If you have anything to add to
All
it.
right. All right. Thank you. Thank you to my panel. Yeah, of course, I have to say thank you to you guys. Wow. Indeed, variety is a spice of life. This particular spice pepper us. It enter, ladies. Whether you believe it or not, you've heard from the men. It is what it is. It is what it is. But I think, in all fairness, right, if you know that you are operating from that angle, come out and tell the woman, say, see, I don't believe in one woman satisfying a man. So, we have to make rooms for this. Cheating hurts a lot. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts a whole lot. So, if you are saying one woman cannot, how many times would a woman have to forgive? And I don't think that's a way to live. I'm not sure God put that thing in a woman to be able to contain, this kind of hurt. Oh, goodness gracious. Ladies and gentlemen,
Sorry, Ima, just a question for you, right? What you just said is a very good perspective, right? You say it hurts. As men, do we really know this? It's a good discussion. That's why maybe the next topic could be, why is one man not enough for one woman? Do we really know and understand this? Even if we know and understand or probably empathize. Can we control it? What can we do? You know, it's a good, excellent submission or discussion that we can have. What can we do? You know, this is a woman you have married, promised the world, promised the earth, made rules in front of God, in the presence of God and family and friends, that you would, though they didn't say that was for better for worse, that's what I know. But do we, as men, do we try to understand that it shatters a woman if you do this to her? Maybe we want more women to say, maybe that's the reason why they keep fighting back, because it hurts them. But for we as men, we keep saying this is our nature. Let's get to understand each other too. And maybe the conclusion will be we understanding the women from their own point of view, and the women too understanding us from our own point of view. It's an excellent discussion, but I do not want to pretend and come to say, no, men know, they know. We know who we are. They know.
Emma, I would like to say something here, if you will permit me.
Please go ahead, please.
You see, God created man, and man created all these things that we are saying here today. A man made commitment to take a wife. If you love your wife, you will not do anything that is going to hurt her. Love your wife as Christ loved his church. That is what my religion taught me, and that is what I am practicing.
Yeah, that's
if you
fine,
don't
Mr.
love your,
Vine. That's
if
fine.
you don't,
That's
if
fine.
you don't love
I
your
agree
wife,
with you.
if
That's
you
fine.
don't love your wife, you can do anything. Fire away.
That's
Fire
fine.
away. Any
That's
woman
really,
that
you
comes
know,
All right,
across
gentlemen.
it's
the
fine.
All right,
path, go
But
gentlemen.
ahead.
likewise, I
Mr.
would
Emeka,
want to make
That's
the
Mr.
it.
Vine,
argument from
Yeah.
because you are coming from a
that's
Christian point of view, but from the Muslim point of view too,
Mr.
because that's what you
Emeka.
subscribe. It's fine. The Muslim point of view, they are allowed to have.
All right, Mr. Emeka, thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. It's been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful broadcast. Yes, I know. In all of these submissions, there is something to learn, and there's definitely something to unlearn. It is not in my place to tell you which to pick and which to undo. It is in your place to listen to this broadcast again, and a man has come out to share a man's perspective, and you have lots of them agreeing to that, and there is this other perspective. I just know that it's the human thing to do. If you know you believe or you belong to this school of thought, please go into the marriage with an understanding. Let the woman know that, see, this is it. Let us know that it is a marriage of convenience, and I don't have to give all of me to you, and you are sharing all of you with other people. I mean, no, nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. Nobody definitely wants that. So thank you, Mr. Emeka. I hope to see more of you. I hope to see more of you on my broadcast, guys. Do not forget, lineup. We have the newspaper review Monday to Saturday. What's that by your favorite girl, Ima? 10 a.m. Nigerian time, all through to 11 a.m. And we have the charts Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, 1 p.m. Nigerian time to 3 p.m. Guys, you know, on the chat is where we have our family meeting. It's a round table discussion. Just about anything could be served on the table. You never can tell. And then we have discussions Mondays through to Thursday, 5 p.m. with beautiful Kachi. And Fridays, we have the debate where I say you have to wear your helmet. Even better, today we have a guest, the team of Take Back Niger. They'll be here today for the 6 p.m. debate broadcast, which is in a couple of hours. So please go get some rest, stretch your legs, have a couple of tea, and if you have access to some badass afang soup and fufu, even better, because you need to come in prepared for the broadcast. So I'll see you later on in the evening. Thank you so very much for being here. Nakmezi, what's up, man? What's up, Nakmezi? Thank you for being here. Thank you for your donation. I see you and I am grateful. Thank you very much. Johnson Emmanuel, Johnson Emmanuel, don't let me look for you again, okay? Be around. Evans, how you doing? What's up with work? Please be around. Please be around and stay safe. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself too. Everybody, thank you for being here. Yes, in Irene finest voice. See you guys later. Until I come your way again. Take care and bye-bye.